Hello, how ya doing? This is Jeffrey Lee Folschinsky, your lighthouse keeper of Lessons for Lunatics, and I'm beaming with excitement as I bring you another episode of Meaningless Minutia, a show that inspires to guide you through the rock-filled harbors of hilarious factoids before remembering you forgot to pay the power bill to turn on the guide light. And with that awe-inspiring wave of insipid inspiration thrown at you, let's get down to this week's question. Did you know the Statue of Liberty used to be a lighthouse? It's one of the most iconic symbols of liberty and the official greeter to immigrants coming to America, while also being the first stop for tourists visiting New York City. And it goes by the name of the Statue of Liberty Enlightening the World, or just the Statue of Liberty to keep things easy. But did you know this beloved national landmark actually started out as a lighthouse? Given to America as a gift in 1886 by France as a symbol of American freedom, the Statue of Liberty, after its opening ceremony, was put to use as a navigational aid to assist ferries, tugboats, and other various ships operating at night. The Army Corps of Engineers modified the torch so the light would be seen all 360 degrees around the statue, which was powered by electricity from a steam-powered plant located on Bedloe Island, where the statue was located. Semi-fun fact, the Statue of Liberty was actually the first lighthouse to use electricity to power its light. So the question that you might but probably weren't asking yourself is, why is it just a tourist attraction now? Well, while the design of it was certainly awe-inspiring, it left a little bit to be desired in the practical consideration department. Mainly, the torch had to be considerably modified in order for the light to shine through it and be seen in the desired 360-degree direction it was intended. And even though the light stood at 300 feet above sea level, and on paper it theoretically could be seen 25 miles out to sea, in reality it was so faint it could barely be seen from Manhattan Island. The United States Lighthouse Board, who was put in charge of the Statue of Liberty Lighthouse, made several attempts to update the light, but it found the statue's design made for a poor lighthouse, so much so that in 1889, a mere 3 years after its opening, the Lighthouse Board stopped listing the statue in its report of New York Harbor lights. The growing expense of maintaining the Statue of Liberty as a lighthouse led to President Theodore Roosevelt transferring it to the War Department in 1901, thus ending its career in nautical navigation. It remained under the War Department's control until 1933, when President Franklin D. Roosevelt, fifth cousin of Theodore Roosevelt, transferred the control of the Statue of Liberty again, this time to the National Park Service, where it stayed to this very day. And while Lady Liberty's stint as a career woman in the lighthouse industry only lasted a short 16 years, she found new life as a symbol of American inspiration, just proving that initial career failures isn't the end of the world. Okay, I can feel your mind sending out distress flares, so I best just stop there. But before I let you jump overboard, let me leave you with this salad fingers of fascination. A lighthouse was once knocked off its foundation and floated 5 miles down the Chesapeake until it ran aground. The lighthouse keepers who safely left the structure were quoted as saying, "Whee, let's do that again." Okay, that last part may have been a fib. And with that, I'm Jeffrey Lee Folschinsky saying, adios, amigos.